Okay, what to eat if you're feeling sick, if you are sick, or if you're recovering from being sick. We do this all the time. We avoid getting sick by doing this. Through trial and error, we've tested this, and it works for us. So, let's look at your ingredients first. We have red cabbage, even though it's purple, it's called red cabbage. We have garlic. We have green bell pepper, cilantro for flavor, Szechuan chili. You can pick this up at any store that sells international foods, or you can probably get it online. This is kind of an important ingredient. And we have broth favor packets. So in this case, we have a ramen noodle packet, and we have just an actual broth, one of these things, where you drop it in there and it dissolves. Alright? Alright, the main ingredient here, and the reason why we're doing this, is for cabbage. This is the main ingredient. If you Google cabbage immune system, if you Google does cabbage fight viruses and all that stuff, you can go on your own rabbit hole and research all this. So I have 4 cabbages out because this is what it looks like when you buy cabbage. Before you start any of this, the first thing that you need to do is wash your hands and wash your vegetables. So this is what cabbage looks like out of the grocery store. The reason why I like cabbage is because it has this protective layer of skin. That's dirty because it's been in the grocery store and who knows if touched it. So just remove a couple layers. And get yourself a nice clean layer of cabbage. See, there's a little bit of moisture there. I'm going to remove that layer too, because I don't like it. I actually stopped buying lettuce because lettuce is so dirty when you get it, and there's really no way of cleaning your lettuce in a way that makes it, for me, consumable. But cabbage, again, cabbage comes with this protective layer, all this stuff, and it protects this inner core here. So there's one cabbage. We're just getting rid of that skin. Another fun fact about cabbage, if you Google all the countries that live the longest, have the longest life expectancy, you'll find that cabbage is in their diet. This stuff is a superfood for humans. It literally helps and stops cancer cells from growing. So I highly recommend including cabbage in your diet. And one of the reasons why we did this video in the first place is because I think cabbage is gross. So I had to create a way to cook cabbage and include it in our diets without having to actually taste it. Alright, relevant to how to cut your cabbage. This is how you cut your cabbage. You don't want to have to come over here and peel off everything every time. It's really annoying and it's hard to cut it like that. The other reason why you want to cut it like this is because you actually want your cabbage to rot a little bit. You want your cabbage to ferment, okay? So we cut it like this, and you can leave this in the refrigerator for a week. Every bit of bacteria that grows on this is a probiotic for your stomach. It's awesome for you. So, step 1, cut your cabbage. Alright, we're making a soup per se. If you ever Google how to cook vegetables, they tell you don't boil it with a lot of water because the nutrients end up in the water. That's exactly what we want to do here. So what's happening here is we've got 2 wounds here. We've got a wound here and we've got a wound here. So if you cut your skin, you're going to bleed, all right? So all of this stuff right here is stopping it from bleeding, but it's got wounds on each side. So the more wounds that you put in your cabbage, the more it's going to bleed. We want these nutrients to bleed out into our soup. So without going crazy, we're just going to cut it a little bit. Red/purple cabbage, check. Alright, let's get the green cabbage. Again, it's got a wound on each side. This stuff's been sitting in the refrigerator for, I don't know, a couple days since last time we cut it. And it's got some probiotics on there for us. We love that stuff. Alright. You're also going to see 3 glasses here. So these glasses are where our drink is going to go. Our soup, drink, broth, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to cut little pieces of cabbage. And we're just going to throw some in each one of these. That way we can get some fresh cabbage blood in our juice. 100% nutrients. We don't want to put a lot because cabbage is gross. Tastes like crap. Unless you're a biker, then you're used to it. Alright, green cabbage, same thing. Awesome. Cabbage in there. Garlic, also worthy of Googling. Google the nutritional benefits of garlic. Does garlic fight viruses? Can garlic cure the cold? All that stuff. When I buy garlic, I like to buy the whitest garlic. I've noticed that if you buy garlic and it's a little brown up top here, it'll wreck your stomach. So I don't recommend that. I recommend buying the whitest garlic. How much garlic is kind of up to you. I'm kind of on the fence of that you can never have too much garlic, but you can, because the truth is that garlic will burn your stomach. And it's also kind of spicy for some people. So I'm going to use a lot of garlic. A lot of people have no idea how to cut garlic, so I'm including that into this. That should be good. Cut garlic. Put your garlic on the thing and you're going to smash it. Alright? After you smash it, all this skin will come off and you'll get the actual garlic. See? So we're going to do that for all these. Again, relevant to bleeding out into the water. We want all these nutrients to bleed out. They're not going to bleed out as much here as when we cut them. So when we cut them, we're just opening up wounds, and when it hits the water and it starts to boil, all those awesome nutrients are going to come out. So you want to dice your garlic. You don't have to go crazy on it. And you're looking at all this garlic and you're thinking stomachache. That's kind of true, except we're going to boil it, so it's not going to be nearly as powerful. If you're not used to using garlic, I would use less than this. Alright, relevant to adding garlic into our fresh pot. So garlic that's not going to be cooked. Be very careful with this, because this will wreck your stomach. So don't add a lot of garlic at all here. That's about how much garlic we're going to put in our fresh ones. I'm just going to put a little bit in each. Because garlic uncooked is super strong. Alright. We're at 12 minutes. It's not good. Alright. You can fast forward it. Oh, we can fast forward it. Yes, that's what we'll do. Alright, green pepper. Also, tons of vitamin C. This is another essential nutrient in all this. So, let's get our green pepper. The way to cut the green pepper is first you just poke your hole through the, push your thumb through the top, and it pokes a hole. And then rip it apart. Okay? And then you just take this core out, and now she's ready to cut. Pretty cool, right? Get all the seeds out because they're going to go everywhere, like you just did. Alright. Green pepper. Again, how to cut it. You want it to bleed, right? So, tons of protective skin here. All this stuff, this is open wound, so it's going to leak out. But when you do your green peppers like this, you really got to cut it. Otherwise, these green peppers are useless. You're not going to get a lot of these nutrients. Also, make sure you wash your green peppers really good. We wash ours with hand soap. So the more you cut them, the more they're going to bleed their nutrients out. Look at our eggs sweating. So we're going to add these to the fresh batch. That way when the hot water hits it, it's going to bleed out the nutrients. You can't tell which one needs mark. Yes. Awesome. Next, cilantro. This is mostly for flavor. There are nutritional benefits to cilantro, but the biggest benefit to cilantro is that it's yummy. So we're not going to use a huge bit of cilantro. Just kidding, we are. And again, we want the cilantro flavor to bleed out in there, so we're going to cut it. And you don't have to go crazy with cilantro. We've just created a lot of wounds there. It's going to bleed all that yummy flavor. And then we're going to add, this is another part, this is like the garlic. This stuff is extremely strong when it's not cooked, so you don't want to add too much to your fresh. But at the same time, when it's all said and done, this is going to be your actual main flavor. This is going to be the thing that you taste, and it's going to taste super fresh. So we're going to add a little bit to each one. Alright, what do we have? That's all the vegetables, so that's the main part. Yep. Alright. So there's two ways of doing this when it comes down to the flavor packets. I'm just going to move this. You can get the ramen noodle packets, which are super yummy. We're not actually using the ramen noodles. We're using this little flavor packet that's inside of it, which is delicious. These are so yummy. And we also have these. You can get the chicken broth, tomato broth, beef broth, whatever flavor you desire. So you can get whatever you want, and it comes in these. These don't provide a ton of flavor like this does, to be honest. We're gonna use both. You can use either or. So these recommend that you actually boil them. So I'm just gonna drop this guy in there, and it's gonna do its thing. But relevant to making this really delicious, and let's just say that you don't have any of these and you do have these, this is how you would do it. So in each one of these little fresh pots, you just want to sprinkle a little bit. Because you're going to lose a lot of this flavor when you start to boil it. So when the flavor hits these, you want it to be there. You want that chicken flavor, chicken broth flavor, chicken noodle soup flavor, whatever it is, ramen noodle flavor. And then we're just going to throw the rest into there. This is basically salt. So if you've been vomiting a lot and you need sodium, boom. Alright. Szechuan, extremely spicy. We snack on jalapenos in this house. We snack on pepperoncinis in this house. This stuff, I mean, like, we use sriracha like it's ketchup. This is extremely spicy, especially when it hasn't been opened yet. This one's already been opened. The longer it stays in your refrigerator, the spice starts to go away. But be careful with this stuff if you're not used to spicy stuff, because it will wreck you. This is also another nutrient. You need to Google Szechuan pepper, nutritional benefits. Hot pepper, spicy pepper, nutritional benefits. This is huge. This will clear you out. So, yeah, we kind of add a lot. You can add however much you want. That's about how much we add, okay? Which is a lot. It smells delicious. Relevant to our fresh pots. So a lot of this flavor is going to go away. A lot of the spice is going to go away. When you're adding it to your fresh pots, be super careful. And you actually don't have to add it to your fresh pots, but we do. It's just super yummy. So I don't even know what the measurement of this little white thing is, but this is what we have. Boom. And that's that. Now we're going to add water. You want to add as much water as possible because you're actually, what we're getting out of this isn't the vegetables, it's the water, the soup that's going to cook. So you want to put as much as you can here without it over boiling, and there is no way to overdo this, and I'll show you why later. So let's go boil it. And use that real quick. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. We're going to figure it out right now. They can see it. Boom. Alright. So you're going to boil on high. Can't tell if it's recording. I think it is. Okay, after much anticipation, it's boiling now. So we're going to cook this for 6 minutes. Exactly 6 minutes. That's the perfect cook time. So I'm at high heat right now. It's going to overboil at high heat because this oven's awesome. Stove. So I'm just going to turn it down a little bit so it doesn't overboil, but I'm going to keep my raging boil going. I use wooden spoons. The reason why we use wooden stuff with really hot materials is because if you use one of these little plastic things, you're basically going to consume that, because science. When things get hot, they expand. I don't trust anything on the manufacturer saying that it's okay to put that thing in boiling water. So I don't want any part of that. We use wood. So you see how over here it's over boiling? Eventually it's going to spill over. It's going to turn it down a little bit more. I don't really stir this a lot. I stir it a little bit at the beginning, then I kind of leave it alone. And we're just going to let that happen. If you see a top over here, I don't use that generally. We use that to speed up the boil process. If you trap it in there, the heat will get trapped, it'll boil faster. Alright, we're going to leave that alone. Let's go back over here and talk about these. Rawr. Okay. Alright, you're going to see 2 eggs. There's 3 ways of doing this. This is very important. Alright, there's the way with no eggs. There's the way with a little bit of egg, and there's a way with a whole egg. If your throat is sore, drinking water hurts. This is a cheat code to life. This is a total life hack. If you have a sore throat and you put egg in this drink, you will be able to drink all of the liquid without it hurting your throat. I promise. So, we're going to go ahead and just crack this guy in here. Alright. The other way, our sink is dirty. Roar. The other way, I'll do it right here. I'm just gonna make a mess. The other way is only use the yolk. So a lot of people can't deal with this because this is gonna create a weird consistency. It's gonna create a weird texture. And if you have like a little kid or something that just can't deal with that, we can kind of half that. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna crack this. Crack. And we're only gonna use the yolk. If you don't know how to do this, you get one empty shell, you pour your yolk in it, just the yolk, and you let the rest of the goo come out. Okay? You can switch it again to get all the goo out. And then we're gonna pour only the yolk in there. Can you give me another napkin? Alright, let's talk about this in detail. I'm sweating. Alright. We use glass. If you pour boiling water or hot water into plastic cups, you're going to eat the plastic cup or whatever the material is in the plastic cup. I don't trust any of that. So we use glass jars for everything. They're awesome. Again, we're doing this 3 ways. This, if your throat doesn't hurt, you can just do it this way. If your throat hurts, throw the egg in it. And if someone doesn't like the texture of the egg and their throat hurts, throw a egg yolk in there and they probably won't taste it. If you pour boiling water into one of these, it's going to crack them. Literally. So you can't do that. We're kind of lazy when we cook this stuff. We like to go fast. We cook probably 95% of all of our meals. And we cook cabbage in probably 70% of all of our meals. And I've learned how to do that through trial and error. But this guy right here, these drinks, if you feel like you're getting sick, drink them. If someone in your house is getting sick, everybody should drink them. Cabbage will boost your immune system. 2 minutes. Especially, and if you are sick, drink them. And when you're recovering from getting sick, drink them. Go ahead and grab the cold water out of the refrigerator. So, instead of waiting on boiling water to cool down, we have cold water. And ignore my plastic scooper. We have a funnel coming from Amazon. It's metal. We love it, but I don't have it yet. But this has worked since so far. 60 seconds. Let's go look at it. Actually, let's come over here and observe. So as you, oh, they can't see it yet. As you can see, the water has changed colors. It's kind of a purple color, it's kind of a red color. The purple's from the red cabbage, purple cabbage, and the reddish color's from the Szechuan chili sauce. What is dripping? Condensation? Summertime. Awesome. Alright, exactly 6 minutes. It's done. If you cook cabbage for over 6 minutes, it will create that smell, that fart smell, that cabbage is notorious for. I hated cabbage growing up because every time somebody cooked it, it smelled like poop in the house. It's gross. If you look at how Icelandic people eat cabbage when they make the koja soup, or whatever it's called, they generally only cook the cabbage for like 6 minutes. So we've cooked this thing just long enough to get the ingredients out. If you overcook this, you're cooking the ingredients, okay? So I feel like 6 minutes is a good time, a good amount of time to get the ingredients out, but you're not actually overcooking it. So let's move this back over here. Got our awesome dirty mitts there. Boom. I don't recommend doing this. We do this because we have granite countertops and you can get away with murder with granite. It's awesome. So the ones with the eggs, it's really important that you get the hot stuff in there first. I actually can't do it that way. I need this guy. Also a bad idea because if I spill it, it's going to go through the glove. Can you give me a fork? So if you've ever been to a Chinese restaurant and had egg drop soup, this is basically it. Once the hot hits the egg is actually cooking. So you want to kind of violently stir it. Just get it all in there and break that egg up. And you'll see what I'm talking about relevant to consistency soon. Again, this is what you drink if you have a sore throat. Strep throat, sore throat, scratch in the back of your throat, whatever else happens with the throat that sucks. So, oh, they can't see it. This is about how full we're going to get them, and we're going to leave it there after that. I am going to stir it though. Alright, let's get the one with just the yolk. Again, if you have a metal funnel, I highly recommend it. But this works. And then the non-sore throat version. So you're getting a cold, you have a fever, whatever, just go for it. Start drinking it now. Get all those nutrients in there. This is going to be the one where you can see the color because the egg isn't going to change the color to yellow. Alright, so this is what it looks like when there's no egg in it. Okay, again, a lot of that color is coming from the hot sauce, and a lot of that color is coming from the cabbage, the purple cabbage. And if you see that color change, that means the nutrients are in there, which is excellent. Also, what's occurring here is all those nutrients that we put in there before are now cooking because it's hot. When it's hot, it's cooking. Okay, so all that fresh cilantro, all that green pepper, all the cabbage that we put in there, it's getting 100% nutrients right now, which is great. All right, here's the one with the yolk. Different color, right? Yeah, but what that yolk is doing is it's smoothing the drinking process down. You're also getting protein from this. So this I don't fully, if your throat hurts, this is still going to hurt your throat. I've tested it. This guy, hot, full egg, okay? Look at all that awesome stuff going on in there. Yeah, it's gross looking. And for some people it's gross tasting, but this is egg drop soup. That's basically how you make egg drop soup, the egg part of it, minus all the other ingredients. But if you've ever had egg drop soup, while you're sick, when you have a sore throat, you realize that it doesn't hurt your throat when you drink it, which is excellent. The difference is this is actually healthy for you. Egg drop soup isn't necessarily healthy for you. There's not a whole lot going on there. So these are too hot to drink right now. Okay? We can change that. Cold water. Heat rises, so your cold water will go to the top. And there you go. That's it. You should drink this the moment you feel sick. You should drink this if you are sick. If there are other people in your house, you should drink this. This will boost your immune system. We've done it. We've gotten away with so many things, so like not getting sick for the past 2 years, because every single time anyone looks like they're about to get sick, anyone feels like they're about to get sick, we do this. All right, so let's talk about our leftovers over here. These plantains are in the way. All right, how long is this good for? Well, we've done all this, we've cooked all this, right? This is good for like 6 to 8 hours, believe it or not. You might have to boil it again just to warm it up, bring it to a boil, then turn it off. But generally when we do this, we consume all that liquid. After your sick person has drank 1 glass, you can come back here and get another glass. When my son is sick, we pretty much make him drink this. Glass after glass. We'll get at least 1 or 2 glasses down, wait an hour, we'll get another glass down. So what's actually happening here is when it starts to cool down, a lot of these nutrients are going to sponge-like, they're going to soak up all the water. And when you boil it again, they're going to come back out. But the other thing that's happening is decomposition, okay? So we want these things to decompose because, can you grab the purple cabbage? When we want these things to decompose because it creates bacteria on it, healthy bacteria, also known as probiotics. Now, we can see how white this guy has turned. Hurry. Take it out of the bag, please. If you look at the color difference, we can see here, I don't know if you can actually see that, this one's faded, and it's because we've boiled a lot of nutrients out of it, which is great. Don't let this sit on your pot for more than 8 hours. If it sits on your pot for more than 6 to 8 hours, make a new batch. Okay? Definitely don't let it sit overnight. That's not cool. And I think that is it. So I'm the only one that can I'm the only one that can drink the egg one. It's delicious.